do not start interpreting yet. My topic today is the Great Pacific Garbage Patch and the surprising discovery of life there. I will now start my speech. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine standing on the deck of a ship looking out at the Pacific Ocean. But instead of endless blue, you see floating trash as far as the eye can reach. This is not science fiction. This is the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Today, I want to share with you what this is, why it matters, and why, surprisingly, it's not only a story of destruction. So what is the Great Pacific Garbage Patch? A garbage patch is not an island, but a huge area where plastic debris collects. Trash comes mainly from the land, and then winds and currents push it into the ocean where it swirls together to create these floating islands of garbage. There are 5 such patches around the world. The biggest one, between Hawaii and California, is the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Scientists estimate that it covers 1.6 million square kilometers. That's 3 times the size of France. Where does all of this trash come from? It's mostly like a big floating soup. It's fishing nets, it's bottles, bags, and countless tiny pieces of plastic called microplastics. A large part of these great garbage patches come from the fishing industry, so-called ghost nets, which are lost or abandoned nets. And the rest comes from everyday waste that escapes proper disposal and ends up in rivers and finally washes out into the ocean. Despite all this plastic, all this waste lying around in the ocean, scientists made a surprising discovery. There are entire communities of organisms living there. There are small fish that hide under the plastic for shelter. There are predators like colorful sea slugs that feed on little floating organisms that also hide in the plastic. And together, all of these form complex food webs that attract turtles, seabirds, and larger fish. In other words, where we see only waste, nature has built an unexpected ecosystem. So, if there's life, what should we do about this? Do we just leave it where it is? Do we clean it up while destroying what is already there? The fact is, the pollution remains harmful. Marine animals eat the plastic, or they get entangled in the nets. And cleaning these garbage patches is not simple. We do have to make the decision that if we remove all of this plastic, we could destroy these ecosystems, these food webs that have created themselves. That's why scientists warn the best solution is to stop plastic at its source. What can we do about it? We need stronger waste management systems, especially in countries with high pollution rates. We must hold the fishing industry accountable for its lost nets. And we must focus our cleanup efforts closer to shore, where this plastic trash is originating. And on a personal level, we can all be more aware of the waste we produce, and we can reduce our reliance on single-use plastics. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch shows us 2 truths at once. On the one hand, it is a shocking symbol of our impact on nature. On the other hand, life has found a way to adapt, even here. But adaptation is not an excuse for inaction. If life can thrive in a sea of trash, imagine what it could do in a clean ocean. Let's make sure future generations inherit oceans full of fish and not full of plastic. Thank you for your attention.